Welcome back. We are back at Genesis Radio Show. We've had a little bit of a controversial type of conversation, but I'm glad we did. There are some differences, but we're good. We're back.
Hey, y'all, we back. It's the TP Square Show here, GenesisRadio.com. We're going to jump back into the dialogue we got here. Diana Bellamy bringing the fire. Got the phones jumping off the chain here. Had some calls come in that rubbed to the wrong way, rubbed to the right way. And we just having fun here because, here on the TP Square Show ain't nothing scripted. We just tell people what they want to hear, what they need to hear. Because like we say in our slogan, Genesis Radio and the TP Square Show, where you love what you hear and you hear what you love.
Right.
And that's what we do here. We have real talk. And that's what we have today. So we're going to jump back into some things, y'all. So don't take it personal, but it's just for real. So we on Facebook Live here. Y'all know what to do. Y'all know the number. Y'all want to call in. It's 888-304-4401. And we're going to answer the phone. We're going to take some phone calls. But we're going to get back into the meat potatoes of this dialogue here. And we're going to find about everything that's going on in the world today in regards to relationships between men and women.
Yep.
Diana left us out to about she's single. So I think she got I think she got a husband. He home just chilling right now.
No, I don't have a husband.
I mean?
I'm actually I'm dating someone. I met somebody fairly new, and this is it's not new. The dating realm is not new for me. I actually, in my line of business, I'm usually very busy and I have a lot of things going on, so it's difficult to date and have that extra time. But I realize in order for somebody to give you advice on dating or marriages, you have to have that experience. You got to have that wisdom. And I've been married. I've been divorced. I've dated. Successfully, unsuccessfully. So, and there's a couple of things I got out of it. And, what Deborah Coffer, is it Coffer or Cofer? Yeah. Coffer? The woman who was just on the line, she was talking about how to be subservient. We have a call coming in. Hold on one second. You got that?
Genesis, who's calling? What's up?
Hey, everybody. This is Sue Fearless. I'm calling to support Diana Bellamy.
Okay.
Sue Fearless. Hi, sis. Sue Fearless is
hey, how you doing?
Is my sister, and
Sue
she
Fearless.
yeah,
I like that name. Sue Fearless.
Her name is Sue Fearless of the Fearless Women Radio Show, and she and I walked the pavement together. She and I marched in D.C. together for women's rights.
Yes, we did.
And that's my sister. Sue, what's going on?
Nothing much. I'm here supporting the kids. It's opening day for baseball, so I'm here with my son, and I wanted to call in and, support one of the most motivational and inspiring women I know.
I love you very much, sis. Thank you so much.
I love you too.
I really do. Thank you. We're getting ready to go talk about what you and I talk about a lot, about being subservient in a relationship.
Okay.
And, that word... And I'm reading my comments. That word does things to a lot of women. But I want you guys, again, Sue and I, and, the rest of the Fearless Women, this is not against women. This is for you. We're helping you. We love you.
Exactly.
We want you to succeed. So,
well, the next time, maybe we need to bring Sue up here with you next time.
Sue has to come up here next time.
Yeah, okay.
Absolutely.
Yes,
Sue and Ramona.
And I do want to add something to, to the topic of submission. A lot of people see that word, speak of that word in a negative sense.
Connotation.
And I think that it's not a complete negative thing. You have to be you have to have some sort of submission when you're in your relationship. You have to nurture it. You have to, take care of your partner, make sure they're always feeling well and loved. So, everyone should not look at that word as a negative. Exactly.
I hope you guys heard what Sue Fearless said, my sister and my partner. She said, being subservient is not a negative connotation. Being subservient in your relationship is nurturing and caring your man in your relationship, but being subservient does not make you weak. It actually empowers you and it frees you from what society has taught you to be. What we were talking about before, growing up in a single parent home, especially with a strong woman, raising you, or even a strong man, what you brought up, which makes a lot of sense as well, telling you to be strong and don't depend. But you know what? In order to have a successful relationship, you have to be independently dependent.
Absolutely.
You have to be subservient. Absolutely. You have to be able to look at your partner and connect in that way.
Make me feel like the king.
Exactly. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. So, Sue, thank you so much.
I agree 100%. And you guys have a great time. I definitely will be up there next time. I love you, sis.
I love you
sure.
more.
Right.
See you soon.
All right. Well, how about that? So you mean to tell me
There's three of us.
It's three of y'all? Oh,
There's
my
three of
God.
us. There's three of us.
Oh, God, boy.
Yeah.
Here comes trouble.
No. I got to be honest with you. You guys chose the firecracker of us three.
How about that?
Because quite honestly, Sue Fearless and Ramona Mitchell, my two sisters, they are a lot more refined than I am, although they have the fire in them as well. They're very influential. We have the same mindset. We just deliver it differently. Okay. I'm in your face. You know, I tell you how I feel. I'm direct. They're more, just less rugged than I am.
Mm-hmm. They come PC, huh?
Exactly.
You know, they politically correct.
They politically correct. And sometimes I don't have the time or the patience to be politically correct because I feel ignorance, unfortunately.
Hey, K-Love, who she sound like?
Like you.
Absolutely.
Exactly. That's why we connected so well. That's why we connect.
Absolutely. Because, you know, me, I'm straight, no chaser. I don't sugarcoat nothing. You know, and even when I'm in church, I'm the guy to sit in the back of the church and pastor say something ain't right, and I'll be like, yo, bruh.
That's right. That's me. I'm the same way. You know, I am. I believe that if we don't do it, who's going to do it? And there are many times I have a lot of followers, women followers, that have actually reached out to me and said, Dana, you saved my life. You saved my marriage. And when somebody says that to you,
that's powerful.
That's powerful.
Yeah,
You know, even if it's just one person out of thousands.
Absolutely.
You know, collectively we have over 100, 200,000 followers. And if one of them says to me, Dana, you allowed me to change my mindset and helped me to go home and try to rediscover my mate. Mm-hmm. That's something when you're with somebody and you try to rediscover them. That's work.
Yeah.
So many people, and we had this conversation coming in, so many people can obtain a person. Social media has made it so easy where I could go out on 3 dates in one day.
Yeah.
And let's keep it all the way real. Men today, women today have a false sense of who they are because of social media. They put up a picture. They messed the game all up. So in my era, you had to actually go, and I don't want to sound old, but in my era, you know, getting up, you had to actually go out there and get to know the person. You actually had to say, hey, how are you? Who are you? What are you about?
Have a conversation.
Now, it's, I think you're fine.
Acronyms.
I got these shoes for you. You know, I got this bag for you. Or the girl goes, even women say, I'm going to take you out on a trip. You know, and it's called tricking. If you ask me, it's tricking. Right? Yeah. And if you know, it's tricking. Yeah. And so because we have so many options, we now as a society lack the patience and the time to put forth the effort to get to know that person. Right? This is the God's honest truth. And a lot of times marriages and relationships don't work because the person in the back of their mind knows that there's an out. There can be an out. Mm-hmm. And if this doesn't work, I got 3 other people lined up.
In the immortal words of my man Chill, he said, I only like the beginnings. You know?
There you go. And that's foul as hell, but it's the truth.
True, though.
But it's true.
He said, I only like the beginnings, you know? You know, because in most cases, you know, when it stopped being fun, you know, you gotta keep your relationship exciting. It has to be fun.
Yeah.
You know,
agree.
You have to always date. The dating has to never end. You always have to date. You know,
I agree.
Even if we're just going out for a little ice cream and cake, you know, we're gonna do that. You know, and every now and then we'll do something special. Heck, I might even take you to go see Mickey Mouse. You know, come on, we go down to Disneyland.
But then what happens when the honeymoon is over?
Oh,
what happens?
You gotta keep it fresh, new, and exciting.
There you go.
You know, it never ends. You know, bring up rose for no reason at all. You know, I mean, like, hey, that's what we gonna do. You know.
If you're real, honeymoon never ends. If you're real.
Yeah, but let's keep it concrete. Again, that's why they call it Dana's Real Talk. Let's keep it all the way real, right?
All right.
The honeymoon period doesn't always last.
Oh, no.
So what makes winners win in a relationship is putting the work in.
You become
partners. You got to put that work in.
You become business partners.
And that keeps it from ending. That keeps it from ending. Because you're willing to just come home and make your mate feel special. Just because.
Exactly. You know, I think on the ride in, I said it's one thing to get somebody, and it's another thing to keep somebody, right?
Oh, yeah. It's easy to get.
Especially if the person that you're trying to keep got some sense to them. You feel me?
Yeah.
It's very difficult for a woman to be approached by a man, and you know, a lot of times, and I'm telling you, I'm in this dating cyberspace, as somebody wrote, is the devil. You're right, cyberspace is the devil, and it is. And you know, the things that come across to me at times, I start laughing.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I just start laughing because your first thing you want to do is buy me.
Mm-hmm.
Right? The second thing you want to do is show me off to this wonderful restaurant and show me off to the world. And see, and I'm not saying it's just men. It's both men and women. You have to understand what you're trying to do here. If your mindset is being in a relationship, this is not a show. This is not, you know, you can't put this person up on a shelf and say, this is my showpiece. No, this is a person who's breathing, who's feeling, who gets hurt, who lives.
You got to bring more to the table.
You got to bring more to the table than just that.
Right,
Exactly. Exactly. And that goes for both men and women.
Yeah, because if that's all you got, that's a deal breaker. I'm going to get bored with that.
Yeah, well, it's not long term.
Yeah, that's
right. It can't be long term. No. It is what it is, and it's fun. And sometimes as adults, we just have fun. And that's okay, too. But just understand your mindset walking into it. Don't get tricked into thinking that this person is going to be your man when the first thing you do is hop in a bed with this dude or with this woman. You guys are flexing, doing what you do. And then if you don't get the call the next day, you should have, homegirl, homeboy, you should have already set your mind up to know that this is a possibility.
Hey, what did I tell you? Everybody want to go to bed with a porn star?
Not everybody likes reruns.
That's true. Not everybody likes reruns. I agree with that completely. But that's the problem with today's society. Like, you know, there are so many options that the easiest thing to do is go to sleep with somebody. It's physical. You don't even got to talk. Right? The hardest part is trying to make it work. Be cohesive, come together. Marriages, I commend married people because it is the hardest thing in the world to do. When I see a ring on somebody's finger, and I know it sounds very weird, I have a different respect for them. I really, really do, because I know I've been there. I've been there for 15 years. I know what type of work it takes to maintain that.
A lot of work.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
But that's what it's got to be. The most successful marriages in the world are the ones that work. Have you ever seen a married person that's been married for 35 years? Do you see them smiling?
Oh, yeah.
No, you don't see them smiling.
I've seen it.
You know why they're not smiling? Because they're busy working.
Absolutely.
Well,
do you think they were happily married for 35 years?
Oh, I know they weren't happy.
And look
at him. He ain't even smiling.
They feed off each other's energy. They don't they don't have to talk. They just know what to do. You know, second nature.
That's right.
So I have a high school friends. He was a basketball captain and she was a cheerleading captain, and they've been together for over 30, almost 40 years.
God bless them.
And I tell them, when I see them, I tell them I salute them, because I know there have been ups and downs, but they're still here together. They still roll out, ride together. And I'm like, all I want to know is your secret.
Here's the good thing about marriages. The great thing about marriages is, the first thing is, the center has to be God. It has to be God-centered. If it's not God-centered, it's never going to work. Never. It has to be God-centered. And either you're a believer or not, you got to have some commonality. You have to have something more spiritual in order to connect the two. Being a virtuous woman, what we were talking about, being a virtuous woman does not mean you're this perfect woman. No, being a virtuous woman means that you're the knit to your family. You're the loop in the thread. You're the one that gets up. You're the one that takes care of the kids. You take care of your husband. You take care of your home. When you walk down the street, people salute you with respect because you carry yourself with respect. Your husband is proud of you. That's what a virtuous woman is.
Well, let me ask you a question, right?
Yeah.
You know, one of our questions we talked about. What type of man you think is suitable for a successful woman?
That's a hard question.
Did I stump her? Did I stump her?
Yes, you did.
Let me get my pen out.
Yeah.
Hey, look, man. Somebody put the popcorn on. Come on, y'all. Extra butter.
The question was, what type of man
is suitable
for a successful woman? The word suitable is the word that's got me a little bit stuttering, which is hard to do. So I commend you on that, to have Diana Bellamy stuttering.
Got it.
As a successful woman, got me, definitely. As a successful woman, it doesn't mean successful. To me, the definition doesn't mean things. Let's start by saying that. Success to me is my mindset. Okay. That's the most expensive thing I have.
Absolutely.
Is my mind and the way I think and the way I move based on what my mindset is. So the type of man that I feel, should I speak personally or overall?
Any way you want.
Because what that woman thinks is successful is her job and her doctorate degrees. To me, I think that's great and I commend you, but that's not what success is for me. So for me, what's suitable to date me is you got to have a sense of humor. You got to have some kind of conversation that will keep me interested. We got to talk about life experiences. You have to have some type of wisdom to you. Hence the reason why I don't date younger men. And not to put anything against you younger men out there. I love you guys too. But you can't do nothing for me. Okay? I like experience.
I don't like them young ones either. They just want my Social Security.
Right. My pension, right?
That's right.
I like gray hairs. I like... to be with somebody like me, you have to have an open mind in that I might not be there at 5 o'clock, 5:30 every time you open the door. I might come in after you. I might have to bring my 3-4 interns in with me into my office and have to work until 8, 9 o'clock at night. But yet and still, again, I do not, under any circumstance, for you out there, you women out here who I see you, I love you, I praise you for all that you do. When you are home, there's a difference. There's a difference. Success means, don't get it twisted. Just because you're a successful woman on the outside in today's society, in the world, when you get home, your mindset changes. It must change. You cannot take on that mentality of being a boss chick home to your man. You cannot do that. You cannot do that. There's a difference. When being, again, I'm a feminist. I'm an activist. I'm a women's empowerment coach. I'm a radio personality. I'm a public figure. When I'm home, I'm Jamaican. Whatever you want me to be. But when I get home, I am my man's woman.
Absolutely. I like that.
So, that's success to me. So if a man doesn't come to me with a mindset or the ability to understand my hustle, he can't be with me.
Well, you know what?
Successful women hustle. We hustle.
That's right. That's right.
And you got to support us.
What's crazy about that is it's refreshing to hear that from a woman. Because usually most of the times, in my case, I ain't never home. You know what? I got divorced because why? I was out making money. I was working. Providing the finer things in life, creating an American dream. I'm thinking I'm doing everything right. But she ain't happy because I'm out there grinding all the time. Because I didn't give her enough of that quality time. You know what I mean?
Well, my whole thing about that is, women, do you want a broke man up underneath you? A man who ain't got nothing going on in his life? How could he add value to your life if he ain't doing something himself? What kind of conversation he's going to bring to the house? What type of conversation? Where are you going to go? Where is he going to show you? What is he going to teach you if he's up underneath you? This is ridiculous. Women today, stop giving yourself to these dudes that don't have nothing going on. If you left the block at 19 years old and you come back 20 years later and they still on the block, what does that tell you?
Absolutely.
I want a man that grinds. I got these guys in the background cheering me on. Absolutely. It's like, I want this man that grinds. If you come home late, baby, I'm going to make sure you eat.
Absolutely.
Well, one of the key things you said, or rather, you alluded to, was that no matter what, you still let your man be a man. Exactly.
But, again, here we go with the man be the man thing. Let's make it very clear that there has to be something that allows me to look at you as my man. If you're not one of those those men that bring something to the table and can, my girl Deborah, I see you, Deborah. If you're not one of those men that bring something to the table where I could learn from or build with, then you are certainly not somebody who I'm going to put all that energy in, because you don't deserve that. I need a man, if you want to call yourself a man, who's somebody who is able and willing to educate himself and able and willing to uplift me, and we uplift each other. Not every man deserves to be treated the same way. I'm sorry. That's just the way it gets down.
I ain't mad at you. I'm not mad at you, you know. But our other guest made it here.
Hi, how are you?
God bless, young lady. How are you?
Larry Davidson is in the building.
It's nice to meet you, Larry.
Yeah.
Thank
God bless
you.
you.
She in here beating him up.
I'm not beating anybody up.
We had one caller in here, boy. He rubbed her the wrong way, and she lumped him up. Yeah, you know.
No,
He across the street now at the hospital.
And look, man, y'all locked the door. You know what I mean?
no, I mean I have the brothers in the back cheering me on, right? So I must have been doing something right. Hello, young lady. Nice to meet you. You know, as I said, you already know. We came together because we have the same type of mentality or very similar when it comes to that. Not that I want to be edgy, but I am controversial in the way I think or what people perceive me as because I tell the truth.
Well, the truth will set you free, you know. But I want to ask Larry something. Now, he's sitting here. We were talking about a virtuous woman. Right?
Uh-oh, okay.
And what's your definition of a virtuous woman?
A virtuous woman is a woman who knows her worth. Number one, she won't devalue herself no matter what.
Are you guys listening to this?
And everything that she does with a spirit of excellence. If she's going to bring someone into her life, it's going to be someone that's compatible with her. The Bible said no two can walk the same road unless they agree.
Amen.
And where the problem comes in that, most of the time you'll find a lot of young ladies today who want to be virtuous women, but they lost their virtue when they settled down, when they hooked up with somebody that they have to bring up.
What did Deborah say? Deborah said, you can't raise no man. Didn't she say that?
Yeah.
You know, what's going on now is a lot of women have gone from having baby boys to diaper men.
Oh, wow.
I see it every day.
You know,
Wow,
and the guys,
Baby
they
boys
never
to
changed.
diaper men.
They never changed their Pampers. You know, they just changed places. They just changed cribs, but they never changed their Pampers.
But-
They're
but
still
what does
pooping
that
in their
come to?
pants and looking for their mother to wipe them.
But Larry, where does that come from? Who raised you?
Exactly, and the young lady stated it best. It comes from the mothers. The mothers, again, we go back to the virtuous woman. Had the mother been a virtuous woman, she would have raised a man of integrity. And if she raised a man of integrity, there's certain things, attitudes, and ways that he's not going to present to a woman. He's not going to come there half-heartedly. He's going to be the type of man that when he walks through the doors, he's going to walk in as someone that the family can say, I would welcome you with open arms.
Absolutely.
He's going to present himself. He's not just going to be someone who drops by. He's going to be a presentation. When he walks in that door, they can say, you know what? I see what my daughter sees in you. Because he's going to be a man that's going to speak with intelligence. He's going to be someone that they can say, you know what? If we have a grandchild, we would want them to be just like that young man.
Absolutely.
Because why? His mother raised him right.
Oh, wow.
It's the truth. It is the absolute truth. Everything Larry said is exactly what I've been trying to say to every time I have an open public forum. This is what I try to say. And hence the reason why I said not, you got to treat your man a certain way. Just like a man wants a woman to be virtuous, you got to come correct too. I have to look at you with a certain sense of pride. I have to look at you and say, okay, this man has something to him. I am proud to be with this man. I'm proud to be his rib.
Exactly.
I'm proud to walk side by him.
Well, we're going to go on to the next question then.
What's the next question?
Is marriage just a pipe dream today?
No, I don't think marriage is a pipe dream. I believe in marriage. I believe in marriage wholeheartedly. I'm a woman of God first and foremost. I might be a little edgy, but God accepts. He accepted the killers and the murderers and the hoes and all of the bums in the Bible. And I believe that it's time for us to understand that, marriage is not a pipe dream.
Okay.
It's something that these young people need to understand, that although social media and the way things are going now, where you have a lot of options, you have to settle down. You got to find your helpmate. You have to know what love is. You got to know what sharing is. You got to know what the work is that comes into it. There's nothing better in the world than to have a person in your life that you could actually build with. Exactly.
You know what I tell people all the time? Marriage is an empty box. How your marriage works out is based on what you put in that box.
Absolutely, yes.
The problem with many people is they want to blame something when all goes wrong in their world. But what they forget is you made it go wrong or you made it go right. Mm-hmm. Marriage, whether it be good or bad, is a sum total of your choices. Mm. Did you choose the right person from the start? And another thing I hate is Meatloaf had a song said, "Shot to the heart and you're to blame. You give love a bad name." And that's what's really going on. Many people have taken love and they call lust. I met you in a club, excuse me. You had a big backside. I like what I saw. I wanted some. I went after that. You got pregnant. We had a child. And everybody's calling it love. It wasn't love. It was
not
lust.
Love. Absolutely.
There was a tree full of lust. And we went for it. And then with the problem,
you just took me back to the Savage.
right?
Down on the right Bentleys. but this is it. We walk in here. We have killer instincts by nature. Men have killer instincts. You see her. You see that gazelle. You're gonna catch it. You're gonna run it down, hunt it down, kill it. That's it. And once that's over, the thrill of the hunt is gone.
You just said that. He just said that.
But what happened was, and see, I said for me, I got tired of the game. I've been married 30 years now. I got tired of the game when the fish started jumping in the boat.
Yeah.
I'm like, I want to bring a fishing pole for. The fish started jumping in the boat. You didn't have to worry. You get out there and the girls are just coming. They coming at you because they think you have $2 over lunch money.
That's right.
But back to what we're saying about marriage. A lot of people fell in lust thinking it was love. So now all these people keep saying that love sucks and marriage sucks. No, marriage don't suck and love don't suck. Your love game sucks.
That's right.
You don't know how to love it. You don't know what love is.
Right. And in fact, one of the things that we talked about on the way in, I told her how most people, I feel, have fell out of love with being in love. They just, the whole concept, everything's a microwave. Society right now.
Absolutely.
Everything's a microwave. Social media got it going on. I'm dating you this week. You know what? You said something I didn't like. I'm blocking you. I got her now. Mm-hmm. Everything's so microwave now. And it has taken the love right out of things.
We've lost respect of persons.
Well, absolutely.
We don't respect people anymore.
Absolutely. Because of why? Because we have options. We have a lot of options. People need to understand that there's an art to being married. There's work to being married. I said jokingly, have you ever met somebody who was married over 30 years, and they smiling? No, they're not smiling. They are in love. He's laughing. They're in love. They love each other, respect each other, but it took work.
Yeah, lots of work. I can tell you that from experience.
See, and
lots of work. 30 years.
That's what I'm saying. I respect married people.
Lots of
because
work.
It's not easy.
You know what it is, though? I tell people, marriage is not hard. Marriage is about understanding. You used the word just a second ago that is very powerful. The word is options. The reason why many marriages people can't stay married, is because they gave themselves those options.
Absolutely.
Certain things, like I tell people, there could be 1,000, I could want to have all the sex in the world, and there could be 1,000 men in a room. Those Negroes ain't going to never be an option. Are you understanding? That ain't going to never be an option. So in your mind, you have to tell yourself what is and isn't an option.
Right.
Okay, just like I could see another young lady, I'm going to say to myself, when you go out this door, you're going to see a lot of beautiful young ladies today. And your wife's going to get on your nerve like she does sometimes. But they're still not an option. You understand?
Exactly.
Let me tell you something. Security, my job is to secure my wife. Her job is to secure me.
Did you guys hear what he just said? A man's job is to make his woman feel secure. A woman's job is to make her man feel secure. It's very simple.
It's real simple. I always tell people, I said, watch this. If I'm talking to the mayor, the president, anyone, I don't care who it is, Victoria's Secret models, if my wife walks up, I'm going to say, excuse me, ladies, hey, baby, give her a kiss. Let them know this is my world. Let's back to our conversation.
Absolutely.
What she has to know is that wherever I am, she has the right to be.
And can listen into the conversation
exactly.
If that's what that's
exactly.
necessary.
There are no passcodes on my phone.
Absolutely.
Because you can't have passcodes and be a man of integrity too. What you hiding?
Did you just hear what he said? You cannot be a man with passcodes on your phone and be a man of integrity when you are married, when you're in a relationship.
Because there's something in there you don't want other people to get at. Let's be real. That's just common sense. What you hiding?
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
I agree completely.
If a man ain't got nothing in his house and the cops come and they say, well, listen, go ahead. If you know you got something, go get a warrant.
Right, exactly.
Giving them time to clean up, right?
Yeah, you understand?
I agree, but there's some of us who don't want to get married. There's some people who don't want to get married, and that is okay. I don't judge you. Just understand if you still want to be in a relationship, it still takes the same amount of work to be in a relationship, what we talked about, with the because sometimes people want the companionship of it. They don't necessarily want the paperwork that goes along with it.
Well, they want the relations and don't want the shit.
There you go. And listen, I don't judge not a soul.
Or they prefer situations.
Yeah. Go live.
But just understand that if you want to have that person in your life and that one person in your life, and you want them to commit to you, the same amount of work goes into it as a marriage. Comes integrity. It comes with communication. It comes with honesty. All these things are still the same without the paperwork.
Okay, now let me ask you a question, if you don't mind.
Of course.
You're a beautiful young lady.
Thank you.
Very intelligent. How did you come to this state of being? How did you get here? Because the average young lady that looks like you, she was going after that loot. She was getting it. She wasn't just going after it. She was getting it. Dude was pawning at her feet. But you come up with some wisdom and some understanding in life. How did you reach this point in life? You had to go through the bottom to get to the top.
I just want to add to that. The difference is with most women, right? As I always heard before, when you got $2 above lunch money, if she's a ghetto girl, she can't hurt you. Because you can shower her with all she wants. Because you can give her a couple grand and send her to the mall, she'll come back with change. You know what I mean? So ghetto girls can't hurt you. She have to develop and become a woman and get past all that stuff, you know, to really hurt a brother. But anyway, go ahead and answer his question.
His question was how do I get to where I am now?
Yeah, how did you get here?
Okay, because women who generally look like me will take a man for their money or whatever the case may be. How I got here was through failure. I got here through failure. I got to where I am now by, first of all, let me start by giving you quick. I grew up in the hood.
Okay.
I grew up with brothers and cousins, male figures in my life, to a strong Puerto Rican woman.
Okay.
Okay. I was always taught to never depend on a man for those things.
Gotcha.
So because of my mother is the reason why I am the way I am. And I also feel because of my sense of just me being a woman of substance, I don't feel comfortable in taking from another human being to uplift myself because I know I have it in me to do it. I say all the time, a woman, and people always say, are you real? Are you real? Yeah, I'm real. I'm real because I've done the homework it takes to become who I am. You don't just get to be Diana Bellamy working to become a woman of substance.
This is true.
Years old, I constantly work on my. God is funny. He's the greatest comedian in the world. He's the greatest comedian in the world.
You gotta tell me.
Okay, because I do what I do, and I'm a voice for not only women, for men too. I'm a voice of wisdom and reason. But the looks, God did that.
Amen.
That He said, I'm gonna just throw you a pass, sis. Only because I know what you're about to do is serious. What I know what you're about to do is gonna be hard, and society unfortunately deals on looks alone.
This is true.
Right? I don't see what everybody else sees because I'm constantly working on myself. I don't see what everybody sees. And when people say certain things to me, I still get shocked. Like, what are they talking about?
I need more than window dressing,
Right, exactly. We need more than curtains.
That's right, because you know what? All that's
what's
fade.
Inside the curtains.
All that's
exactly.
Fade,
What did I say on the ride home? What did I say? I said, at certain times in life, you need to understand, and you young people out there need to understand, not to make myself sound old, but you need to understand that all this physical stuff is going to start falling.
It's going to fade.
It's going to, things start moving around that don't make no sense. Right? You need to maintain your brain and your mind and your mindset and where you're going to go, your next steps. When you walk into something, understand that what you have walking in the door is temporary. It's not going to last forever.
And this is true, very much true.
So basically, that's where I got it from, long-winded self.
You know what I've learned also is everybody wants to be in love, but nobody knows how. Because the average person was taught to lust. We were taught, like you said,
especially
go for what you see.
Get mine.
Yeah, go for yours, go for what you see. Either you're lusting for the body based on the looks, or you're lusting because he has money. They're shooting at these guys because they have money. And we lack integrity as a people. We've gotten away from God. We've gotten away from the family unit.
I agree.
We've gotten away from the family unit. The sad part about it was crack was so devastating to our community that we had mothers prostituting their daughters without exactly putting them on the street, but you gave them a horse mentality.
Exactly.
By telling, yo, he got some money, you better go get that Negro. That's your mama telling you that. He got money, so go get him. You didn't say, well, he's a man of integrity, or he's a man of strength, or he's a family man. The things that
He just got money.
the mothers of the 50s and 60s and 70s used to tell you, listen, can he fix something? You know, they want to know.
That's how I think. Can he hang a picture? Can he paint the walls?
Can he do something?
You know, things like that is important to me.
Hey, listen, you know, like man Dave House said, you know, what we gonna do for that ooh, yeah, yeah.
That's right. That's right. You know, I mean, there's nothing wrong with a man or a woman having money, because in the Bible it doesn't say money is evil.
No, it said the love of money.
Right. The love of money is evil.
The Bible says actually money answereth all things.
Listen,
that's what
when I see my pastor driving around in a Bentley, I'm not mad at him.
Exactly.
I'm not mad at him. Go get yours.
It's the loving of the money that's the problem.
That's the problem. When anything, the love of any one thing, concrete thing other than the love of God,
Amen,
is a problem. Amen. You got to go out there and get that money. Because one thing I'm not going to do, I refuse to be in a household with two able-bodied people and we broke.
I'm bringing her to your church, man.
I'm not doing it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm bringing her to your church.
I'm not going hungry with somebody who could work and move and walk and talk and make that money. When I see these people come up to me and ask me for money, I said, brother, you out here for 20 hours a day. You mean to tell me you can't go to Burger King or ShopRite and bag something or do something to make some money for yourself?
You
should do something.
I've been
But you up
raking
here
ladies for
asking
10
me
years
for
old.
$1.
Clean up backyards, get me some money.
But guess what, though? A lot of that has to do with, while a lot of brothers are stuck on the corner doing that stuff, if a lot of the sisters would realize that, make him feel comfortable going to get that job in the supermarket or flipping them burgers.
I agree.
And make him feel comfortable with that.
And
guess what? He won't sell crack. If we can put our short money together, we can build the American dream. You know, off minimum wage.
Based on what you said.
I agree completely. Put that cape on your man's back.
There you go.
Send him out with a pat. Put the cape on his back. Make him able and spiritually, mentally prepared to go make that dollar. I believe in that. I believe that's a woman's job. And some women get mad at me when I say that, but that is our job.
To boost them up. A woman, she's a help me.
It's a help me. Exactly. And
help
it's not
you reach
just,
your goals.
but it's every day.
Well,
it's
this
work.
is true.
It's work.
It's always somebody with
very much true.
You know, it's always somebody with some craziness. Now, we talking about relationships between a man and a woman. We're not talking about woman and woman and man. No disrespect to nobody. That's another topic. That's another show.
Yeah, we're not talking about that right now.
So, you know, I got a text, you know, but we talk about men and women today. Mm-hmm. So we'll touch base on that other stuff another day and time.
Let me tell you a powerful statement I heard one time. They were interviewing Mrs. David Dinkins, the former mayor of New York City. They were interviewing her and her husband. So he said they were riding down the street, and she looked over and saw her ex-boyfriend working down in the manhole. So David Dinkins said, "Oh yeah, so that's what he does for a living? Work down in manholes?" She said, "Yeah, but if he'd have married me, he would be mayor."
Listen, Larry, I agree with you.
She said
completely.
If he would have married me, he would be mayor, meaning she would have helped him go to a higher plateau.
Women out there, I don't mean to cut you off because I feel so fiercely about this. Women out there, you need to understand we have the power. A lot of times, women underestimate the power that we have. We can either uplift our man or ruin him. We can make a president. We can make the CEO of a next company. Women, we hold the power.
This is her counterpart calling.
Okay.
Hello, counterpart.
Who's speaking?
This is Deborah Kofer, a.k.a. Mama C.
Okay.
Deborah, how are you?
That's all right. One of the things I think that people need to be real clear on is that, you know, love is a natural process that we were given by God, and we are to love each other. But being in love is earned. And, you know, women always say, oh, I'm in love with him. Well, why? You know?
Exactly.
So you got to understand the difference between loving. There's a man I've loved for many years, but he ain't right for me. So, see you. He hasn't earned the right to be in love with me. So I will love him for all the days of my life. But we will not be in love because we have not earned that privilege together.
Wow.
Security.
I hear that.
So we have to understand that we got to stop talking about I'm in love. You meet somebody and talk about I'm in love. No, you ain't. You in lust. And you got to understand that natural loving process, we are supposed to extend that to each other, to everybody. I love everybody, but I'm not letting everybody up in my sacred space.
Agree.
All right.
I mean, let's call a spade a spade. Let's talk real. You know, again, we had this conversation, and for me, one of my followers is saying, people were groomed to lust, as Larry just mentioned. We are groomed to lust. We are visual people. Again, that does not make you sinful to look at somebody and say, "Damn, that person looked good."
Yeah, they look good.
It's the act. It's the act of going for it is the sin.
Mm-hmm.
So if we are lustful people, remember we are from the earth. We're not in heaven. We're in the devil's backyard. We are to lust. We are to look at somebody's fat booty or
But
big
you know what?
booties
I wouldn't even call it lust. I would call it admiring.
admiring as well. Either one.
Because a lot of times it's not that I want to jump on you, but I just see you. You look good. You're beautiful. It's just like a flower.
But that's
You'll be good to have. It's like a
Larry.
Bugatti.
But
You'll be good to have.
There's a difference between admiring and lusting.
Oh yeah, without
She
question.
just said it.
Without question. Well, I try to lock it in the mindset of admiration.
And
because
I love
love
that.
style.
I love that.
I love that. Remember what I said. You have to watch this. He said, "Be transformed by the renewing of your mind."
There you go.
You have
Absolutely.
you have to train your mind to your mission.
There you go.
And a lot of people allow their passion to override their purpose. You can't allow your passion to override your purpose. So therefore, you must lock your mind on your mission.
Absolutely.
And if you're going out of the door to accomplish something, you can't allow yourself to be thrown off course or misdirected just because you see something. You know, a lot of times my wife and I are driving, and and we like to house hunt, while we're on the road and admire different houses. But a lot of times I'm driving, and she said, "Oh, that house back there is nice." What am I supposed to turn around and look at it? We'll kill ourselves. So you have to keep your mind on your mission.
I agree completely.
You understand what I'm saying?
Stay focused.
You can't allow yourself to be turned away when you see somebody, beautiful young lady, nice style, whole nine, keep it moving.
Agree. And there's nothing, for the gentleman out there, there's nothing wrong with coming up to a woman and saying, "I think you're beautiful." But then once you do that and you know you don't want to waste her time, and you have things going on at home, walk away. Exactly. Don't waste my time. Don't waste the young lady's time. Just walk away.
Well,
like
me,
you said, stay focused.
If she advertising too much, I'm gonna pass on that.
So if a woman is underdressed,
I want there to be some mystery there. For me,
And I'm the same way.
I want some mystery because
you know what?
You know what? Let me tell you something. Like I said, when you see them on social network and all they got is from the neck down photos and all that stuff, I'm done. You lost me right there. You might be the best you might be the woman that God sent for me, but I'll never know because that's not my sandwich. You know what I mean? If you advertising sex and sexuality only, and there's no substance in your social network posting that I can read and learn something about you,
well,
I ain't down for that.
It's nice to see a young lady who's nicely dressed, who looks, attractive. But when you start letting everything hanging out, that's a form, to me, just in my opinion, a form of insecurity. And I have a saying: if you show it, you'll hoe it.
Oh, absolutely.
If you show it, you'll hoe it. And every man who is a real man of integrity.
Did you hear what he just said? If you show it, you'll hoe it.
Every man
that's deep.
Wants a woman of integrity and a woman that's going to respect herself.
I agree.
And at the same time, he wants a woman that's not going to get him in a fight every week. Like 5 Heartbeats. Every night I got to prove my love.
Calvin we just said that.
Right here.
We're all on
I
the
ain't here
same
for that.
page. We're all on the same page.
I used to deal with a young lady, and she was physically very, very strong. Man, I used to be going down the block, and every time I turn around, some dude saying something slick out his mouth. I'm like, "Money, where you think I'm from? I'll smack your face off." Okay, don't do that. Don't do that.
Wait, she would say that?
No, I would say that.
Oh, you would say that?
Yeah,
okay.
Money. Because it would be totally one thing, dude looking at her. But this dude be, "Mommy, hey, so on,
Yeah.
dude, I would smack your face off."
Yes,
Don't
yes.
do that.
I find that to be quite relevant today with men. When I'm walking down the street, I get the cat calls and I get all those things. And I'm wondering, what do you guys think you're doing when you do that? What do you think you're accomplishing when you do that?
Because
for me, as a woman, I'm looking
shallow,
at you, you're a clown.
she might, be into that. Some women like all that extra attention.
It depends on how it's done.
Yeah.
So you say a woman who's underdressed, if you show it, you'll hold it. For us, if you're coming to us in a way that's just completely out of order, corny, just disrespectful, you're going to get shot down, completely shot down. Men need to understand today that there's a way to approach a woman, especially if it's a woman of substance.
Absolutely.
You know, and a lot of times, a lot of men go for women that they aspire to. You know, when you get out of college or when you come out of school, high school, you want to drive that the BMW, but all you can afford is a Toyota.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if all you can do is drive that Toyota, drive the Toyota.
Absolutely.
Don't get into the BMW and stay in your lane.
Stay in your lane.
Because what happens is, what I see a lot of times in dating realm is that, you know, we're talking about women who are half dressed or men who come across disrespect, whatever the case may be. At the end of the day, you know, people know what they can aspire to. People know what they should aspire to.
Absolutely.
People know when they're coming out their lane. So my thing is, if you're going to come and try to date me and you know this about me, you've read about me, you've watched my YouTube, you saw me on stage, you saw me live, and now you come to me and get upset or insecure because you can't handle it, you should never waste our time. 9 times out of 10, a woman like me is not even going to give that person a chance.
That's the weak man, you know, who lacks the self-confidence in who he is. You know?
Right. Well,
he don't know who he is as a man.
That's the point of what we were talking about on the way here. You can obtain it, but you can't maintain it.
That's right.
Don't waste people's time.
That's right.
Right?
Absolutely.
That's all I'm saying.
Absolutely. All right, y'all, we're going to wrap this up a little bit.
We're going to wrap it up?
We're going to jump into some music. We're going to come back, you know, because I see a lot of things floating across these screens here. So, you know, we're going to read some of these comments and stuff, and we're going to get back to y'all. We're going to take some more phone calls.
Marriage implies ownership. I disagree with you, whoever wrote that.
We're going to have some fun. So we're going to let DJ Dog jump in and do some stuff. DJ Dog, you go ahead on and take it away for a little bit.
Go ahead, DJ Dog.
And we're going to be right back at you.
We got Larry in the house. Say hi, Larry.
Hello, everyone.
This man is incredible.
God bless you.
Hi.
God bless
Here's
you
the
all.
studio,
Very
everybody.
wise man. There you go.
Very wise man.
God bless you all. To God be the glory.
My people. Hey.
Look, you're getting a lot of love
fun
there.
here today. A lot of fun. A lot of fun.
Those are all those hearts.
Join back in a little while, right? We're gonna join back in a little while.
Absolutely.
We're gonna talk.
Be back for
We're gonna talk
part
about. What are we gonna talk about?
I don't know.
Be back for part 3.
It's all
got
about
so much stuff. It's all about relationships.
It's all about relationships.
Yeah, man.
And I'm sorry if I
How
pissed
do I-
some of you guys off
Cool. You said she married to you, right? She got to be doing good.
with my directness, but I want you to understand when I come to you is with love and wisdom and experience. And you women out there who are commenting on my line, understand this is not against you. I'm trying to help you.
That's what we want to talk about when we come back. Why so many women are offended by what you're saying.
A lot of women are offended by what I'm saying because they don't want to face the truth.
But that's what we're going to talk about when we go live.
I just can't handle the truth.
I mean, there's some people at different levels of development. You know, I mean, we're looking at a broad spectrum of people with different mental.
I agree.
Brought up in different.
There's levels.
So they can't even comprehend. It's almost like it's trying to.
You're talking English, they talking Spanish.
Right, exactly. So you got to first find a language, and then
that
slowly
you both can
guide
understand.
them.
I agree. And that's where wisdom comes into it.
Right.
Because if your mama and your father didn't teach you from the start, somebody got to teach you somewhere.
Right.
And sometimes it takes a total stranger like me to come, or Larry to come in and say, look, here's a foundational truth. What you do with it is your business.
Right.
And I'm going to help you get there if you just listen.
I want to add to the issue we were discussing earlier. Brother said about black, white relationships, male, female. He was saying black women didn't know how to deal with black men. And that's the conversation.
Okay,
But
yeah.
what I wanted to say was, it's not, to me, in my experience, it is not racial. To me, it seems more generational.
I just said that. I said that.
Generational. The values that our parents, grandparents passed down, as they were passed down, we've gotten away from that. Because to me, a beautiful woman such as yourself,
thank you.
Great. But you know what? No matter how beautiful your face and body are, I need to know
mental. Exactly. And that's where everything, I think, right? Don't you think? I think that even with, I'm going to get Larry in this too, because I think that, you know, because my Facebook people, they're like, no, don't hang up the phone yet. And I see all the comments coming in, so thank you very much for being involved. You know, what we were talking about earlier with interracial relationships, I personally don't think there's anything wrong with it.
Nothing's wrong.
Okay? I feel that if your mindset is not in order, then nothing's going to be in order. Absolutely nothing.
What a lot of people don't realize is the best part of the relationship was not, if you realize something, many great men have fallen in love with a woman because of pillow talk.
Right.
If you look at the general that had got demoted, what happened? He laid down with his mistress, told her his whole heart on the bed. Communication is the key to relations.
Absolutely.
And after the sex is gone, or you can't have sex no more, will you still love this person, and will you still want to carry on? And when you have someone, as the brother was saying, that you can communicate with, you miss the communication.
Absolutely.
If I ever look back on life or relationships when things got hard, what I look back to was the days of communication. We used to lay in the bed, you get in the bed, come home from work, get home 6:30, eat dinner 7 o'clock, 9 o'clock you all in the bed, but you ain't going to sleep till 4 o'clock in the morning. You both got to get up and go to work. Then you tell each other, listen, don't say that one more word. We're going to sleep. No, I don't want to talk.
I love that.
Don't ask me another question.
I absolutely
because
love that.
This is what we used to do. Talk all night long.
Exactly.
We would just talk about life, visions, dreams, any and everything. I mean, because this is what keeps you going as a person.
Here's the problem.
Learning
You just said it. You said it best. It's a generational thing. It's a gap. There's a void there where we had that. We had a good idea of what a relationship is. We've lived it. You know, we know the work that comes into being in a successful relationship.
Exactly.
Can my son say the same thing, who's 25? Can, you know, some of my followers say the same thing? And a lot of times it's no. Because the work is not put in. The work. It's all like, there used to be virtue. There used to be values. There used to be, and I still believe that it exists, and I still believe that you can still have that. I really do believe that. Yeah. But it all has to do with work.
And you know what, it's more prevalent still in the South, because the South still believes in the family nucleus. See, up here, up north, you know, we're about to get that money. I still remember when we as a people went back, blacks and Hispanics, when we took a quantum leap backwards. It used to be, you know, when you go down the street, you see a black man, you know, you see him, yo, what up, my brother? You know, you throw your hand up.
That.
You see another brother, Hispanic brother. What's up, my brother? Everything is good, right? Then all of a sudden, somewhere in the early 80s, you heard this cat say, go for yours, I'm going for mine. And everybody started adapting that mindset. See, everything is a mindset.
That's
everything is a mindset.
Crabs in a barrel.
Crabs in a barrel.
Everything is a mindset.
And hence the reason why we are being treated the way we are. Hence the reason why we still have that slave mentality. And that slave mentality not only goes into our day-to-day, but it goes into our relationships as well. We were set up from the beginning. And it takes work to get out of that setup.
You know what I always try to tell people also, like you said, everything is generational and everything is programmable. Remember, we have to take it there a little bit into the races.
We have to.
But you have to get to the point where you realize something about the white man. The white man deals in statistics, while we just deal in the moment.
What's in front of us, right
What's
there.
in front of us. Mm-hmm. What they do is they sit down and they calculate how they can lead us without us realizing they're leading us into a direction. Now, a lot of people say, well, how can you love me? A woman once asked, how can a man love a woman and still cheat on her? I said, easy. He was programmed to do it. They said, well, what do you mean? My name is Buck. Buck the nigga stud. And I'm Buck the nigga stud. I love my wife. I don't want to cheat on my wife, master. All I want to go home, love my woman, and feed my babies. Master said, nigga, get up, put your coat on. I got some winches that I need you to stud.
Yep.
Now, to the black women, he's Buck the nigga stud. To the black men, he's a hero because there are a couple of girls that they wanted to
right.
that he got to. So now, in his community, he's given the image of a powerful man. To the master, he's his number one stud. So he's getting all these accolades, special privileges, and all of this, while yet still being in love with his woman. And after a while, being mentally trained that this is okay.
That's the definition of a successful man.
And she got, after a while, she got programmed to accept abuse.
It. Exactly.
She got programmed for abuse.
Yep.
So she got used to, well, as long as he come home. No, I didn't sign up to come home to something that's tainted. When I stood at the altar, it was pure.
Agreed.
And when it come home at night, I want it the same way I found it.
I don't believe in cheating.
Exactly.
I don't believe in cheating. I think it's something that is horrendous in a relationship. I think it's a huge deceit to do that. It's.
I say get up and go.
My whole thing is this. And a lot of people do not agree with what I'm about to say, and it's okay. I believe when you are in a relationship, when you are in a marriage, things happen. And we had this conversation on the way here. Things happen. Men are programmed to do things differently. When women step out, it's a whole different reason why we step out. We step out because of emotional reasons.
Absolutely.
We step out because we don't feel secure. When men step out, usually it's physical.
They just step out.
They just stepping out.
Yeah, the battery fell out their cell phone.
Anything, any little thing. That's just lust, working. Right? So things do happen. At what point in your life as a woman, and a lot of you women out there are not going to agree with me, but at what point in your life do you say, I love this man, he's the man of my life, of my world, he's my kid's father? At one point do you say, okay, when do we have forgiveness? Right? And a lot of women don't agree with me on that. Again, I'm a little old school when it comes to it. You know, I'm not saying that cheating is the way to go. If it happens, God forbid if it happens, do you give up your marriage for a time of lustfulness? Do you do that?
Well, you know what? Let me say this to you, in my understanding of it.
Yes, please.
If a man goes out and cheats, thank you, sir. If a man goes out and cheats based on a one-time lustful event, that's one thing. But if this cat is a creature of habit, there's a problem.
Now we got a problem.
There's a problem.
Now it's time for me to go.
Okay,
it's time for me to go.
Exactly. You slid across the tracks one time. Don't let that happen again.
Right.
You understand? Because at the same time, like I try to tell people, and I always say this, as a man, I'm straight. I'm straighter than straight. And for a woman to go out and sleep with another man and come back home, excuse me, I'm going to take it there.
Take it there.
With his sperm in her vagina and a male sperm touching me, that makes me a homo by proxy. I ain't homosexual. Okay? So don't come in here and bring me no man's sperm, put it on my body, because I'm telling you, I'm going to go ape doodle.
Right.
Okay? So there ain't no need, and you're doing that. Best I can tell you to do, if you want to cheat, rise and shine and get to stepping.
I agree.
Okay? Don't bring me.
Link it with you on Facebook to send you friend requests, but
because I would prefer that she came in the house and said to me,
are you maxed out already?
I'm sorry, Larry. If you're trying to link up with me on Facebook for other Facebook followers, and I'm at capacity, call in, I guess, and I'll add you now at 888-304-4401, and I'll add you. I'm sorry, I am at capacity on both my Facebook pages, but I'll try my hardest to friend you. But Larry, you're right. I agree with you. I mean, I believe that cheating is a terrible thing, but I'm not an unrealistic person to say that it's just not going to happen.
Yeah, but you can be merciful.
You can be merciful. But at the same
time, but I say this also, if I don't want my woman doing that to me, why would I do that to her? You understand? The worst thing in the world, and I'm going to tell you something, how I sit around a lot of times. I go out to different places to eat. I love to, wifey and I go out to eat a lot. And I look in couples' eyes when they sit at a table and see, do they look each other in the eye?
Agreed.
Can you still? Because once someone hurts somebody deeply, it is very hard to look them in the eyes.
It's so true.
A lot of people don't realize that. That if you hurt someone or they're hurt by you, it's very rare now that you all will sit and stare each other in the eyes like you did when you first met. Unless,
Larry.
Because something dies.
Unless, and there's a huge unless. Yeah. If there's true forgiveness, if you called yourself to be married to the person who you connected with, who you wanted to build with, partner with, and you are committed to it, you have to really commit to it. You got to commit to it. You got to work every single day to make it work. I mean, I'm a person that detaches herself very quickly from situations, and that's something that I'm working on now. And the guy that I'm dating, you know, he you know, I know he wanted to bust me in the head, you know, a couple of times because I'm like, all right, I'm done. You know, but that's not the way to be. That's not the way to be. The way to be is if this person treats you right from the door and shows you respect as a woman, right? And is consistent, right? And shows you that you mean something in his life, then the least you owe this person is your time. It's some commitment.
This is very much true.
Right? I'm just saying, because a lot of, again, social media has made it where I could go on 3 dates in one day.
Oh yeah, easy.
And I've done it. It was a test. The Fearless Women and I have done it. We've done it on purpose to see if it could be done. 3 different dates in one day.
Wow.
Well, I have a question.
Yes.
Now, this is just me personally.
Yes.
My daughter's mother, I was in love with her. We had gone to a club, and she loves to dance. She's very beautiful when she dances, but she's somewhat seductive or what have you.
Your daughter's mother?
My daughter's mother. Now, mind you, but my feelings are this: we're going out together. We're together. You want to dance? Go and dance. My leg, I couldn't dance myself. But go on. Don't stop your fun for me. I'm right here. We're together. She wanted to dance, but she wouldn't dance because she didn't want to upset me or so.
To make you feel bad.
Right. So I told her, I said, no, you're with me. I believe in you. Going out there, have a good time. And so, she seemed like she was shocked that I would let her or be comfortable with her going out and dancing. So you're not going out to take your clothes off and hump on somebody. You're just going to have a good time.
Yeah,
so what's the question?
So my question is, am I wrong, or was I someone being like? Was I pushing her off away from
Absolutely
me?
not. You know, let me tell you what you showed, what you demonstrated. You demonstrated a man who is confident. You have confidence. You trust your woman, right? Because of how confident you feel in yourself, you were able to say, go ahead, baby, go dance. And some women are not used to that. Some women like the trap mentality and say, he's going to tell me what to do. Yes, master. No, master. Okay, master. Some women actually are programmed to be that way from past experiences. So when a woman actually meets a man of confidence, of substance, that says, go ahead, baby, do your thing. Now they're confused.
Yeah, I was told I didn't care. I must not care.
Now they're confused. Right. I mean, and it's sad. It's a really sad situation, but it does exist.
Yeah,
did your relationship with her last?
I said my ex.
It's not. It would never last. It couldn't last.
Well, you know what it is? That's her own insecurities.
Okay, guys, we're going to we're gonna cut from break. We were supposed to be on break, but we kept it going. Me and Mr. Larry. We got some phone calls coming in.
I want to tell them to call back in 2 minutes.
You sure?
Genesis Radio.
No, I told him just tell him to call right back.
Hey, what's going on? Who this?
Somebody's calling in. Let's see who's calling in. 888-304-4401.
Yeah, we about to go live in a minute. So give us about 5 minutes to close back.
Okay, we're going on live, everybody.
Right. Okay.
I love you guys too. Thank you. Thank you so much for all of you guys joining in and listening to us. I know it's been long, and some of you have been with us since 1 o'clock. 12 o'clock? Was it 12 o'clock?
Since 12 o'clock.
12 o'clock.
All right.
Damn, I love you people out there. And my phone's about to die, so if it dies on you, I apologize.
Hey, y'all, we back. Y'all know what it is. This is the TP Square Show, the Diana Bellamy edition of the TP Square Show. She done did the takeover, y'all. She done hijacked the show, you know. So it ain't the TP Square Show today. It's the Diana Bellamy Show today.
Truly enjoying
you know what I mean?
This is
you know, I got a little help here from my man Larry Davidson. He in the building with us, you know. So
God bless y'all.
You know, I had to stack the cards, man, because she done came with both barrels, you know, bang bang. You know what I mean? You know, so we back. We gonna have some fun. We gonna jump right back into this dialogue that we had. You know, some of y'all like no job and his pants is sagging. You know, y'all like putting money on his books. You know, some of y'all just enjoy that. So the reality is, what I like to say is this: most of the time, when people complain about who they're dating and what their mate is, you know what you was getting when you got them. Where'd you find that? You know, if you knew he was a street level barbarian, what made you think that you were going to be able to do anything to change him, that grown man at 35 years old who never had a job and don't want a job, and he's just grinding the street? What makes you think all of a sudden he's going to change his mind and go work at McDonald's now? How you going to do that?
Well, I wouldn't do it. Let's start by saying that. Diana Bellamy would not do that. However, what I believe in society, again, who raised you? Mm-hmm. A lot of times women feel like they can change a man. Women are set up, programmed to be caretakers. Most of us, mm-hmm. right? So when we see a man, the dude on the corner block, which I don't care what any woman says, we all been with Mr. Wrong. Every one of us has been with, we've all experienced that. And all of us somewhere in our minds thought we can uplift this dude, we can help this dude, knowing it's a L from the jump. It's a loss from the jump. However,
if he carries a gun, it's probably a bad situation.
It's probably a bad situation. Well, is it registered?
Of course, I'm a firearm.
Well, there you go. So, well, you're the exception to the rule.
That's a different sandwich.
You're the exception to the rule. So, I mean, I just feel like a lot of women feel like they could take care of these men and change them, which is, women out there, I want you to understand it's not going to happen. So get past that.
Not at all.
It's not going to happen.
One of the craziest experiences I had, there used to be a club in New York City called the Down Under. And the Down Under probably was about 30, the dance floor itself probably was about 30 by 30. You know, it had an overhead where there was a restaurant upstairs. And, you know, I used to be very promiscuous in my early years. And young ladies would see one girl come up to me and stand and wiggle herself on me and, you know, ask me, can she come home with me tonight? They don't know what she's saying, but they see her wiggling on me. And you know what I mean? Then another girl comes up, she wiping my sweat, and another girl come up, and they're just going back and forth.
I remember those days.
Oh, my goodness.
Like the song said, we go a long way back.
Yeah.
You know, but then my conscience is starting to kill me now. I'm somewhere in between the ages of 23 and 25. I got married when I was 25. And I'm saying to myself, you know what? Every man I know wanted to be me but me. First of all, I didn't like this life. That wasn't who I am. I'm a family man by nature. Mm-hmm. But I found myself, because of my distrust of women at that time, being promiscuous. So one day I meet this young lady, and all of them were very nice young ladies. But there was this one young lady in particular. She sees all these girls. They all saw me dealing with this girl and that girl, but it made them no difference. They wanted to try it. So we get home, we do what we do. But somewhere around 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, my conscience kicked in. And I said, baby, let me ask you a question. Why are you here? She said, what do you mean? I said, why are you here? So in her mind, she's saying to herself, like, I'm here because I wanted to make love to you. I'm like, no, why are you here with me? I'm not the type of dude that you should be getting down with. You look like you come from a family that cares. Well, it's not, it looked like she did come from a family that cared. You're highly educated. You're very smart, intelligent, beautiful. You can have any man that you want. You can have a wonderful career, but you choose to lay down and be a number in a chain. You know how I get down. Why would you get down like that? I said, do me a favor. I didn't even give her a chance to answer the question. I said, what's going to happen is I'm going to drop you home in the morning. I'm going to give you a kiss, and we're never going to see each other again. But do me a favor. Never let another man do this to you again in your life.
That's deep.
Know your worth.
That's deep.
Know your worth.
And I preach that all the time.
That's deep.
And knowing your worth is an understanding that you're fearfully,
you're better than this.
Right, exactly.
You're better than this. And sometimes, let me say this to you. I'm going to speak for the bad boys. There are a lot of bad boys who want out but don't know how to get out. You know what I mean? See, because by the time my conscience started kicking in, I had a lust spirit that was so bad that I watched porno all day in between the 3 girls that came over.
Exactly.
I'm telling you,
it's very true.
I would have sex, literally. I would go to work. My job was right across the street. I would go to work. My break time was 10 o'clock. I would have a girl come at 10 o'clock. We'll rock till 12. I'd go punch out for lunch because another one was coming at 12. We get down till about 3, go back across the street, show my face, come back in the house, and that girl, there one come 5 or 6, she's over that girl. I mean, this is how strong my passion was. Because after a while, you think about it. You're meeting 3 girls on Thursday at a club, and by Sunday, they're all done.
That's right.
So now all it is you just sifting through which ones that you think is going to settle for your lifestyle. Some of them are going to think, well, I'm going to be the only one. Well, baby, you're going to try to change me. That's not going to happen. So I have to wean you out. But all of those who knew who I was and how I got down,
some of them just knew who you were, and that's what they want to do.
Well, I mean, the bad boys exist. They continue to exist. And unfortunately, the bad boys win. They win. Yeah. And, that song that came out, Mr. Wrong, Mr. Wrong. And I could relate to Mary J. when she sang that song. The problem is, when you have 1 or 2 bad boys in your life, you have to discern and say, you know what? Just based on his energy, how he's coming towards me, this is not for me. This is not anything. And sometimes, I'm going to keep it all the way real. Some women don't want long term. Some women want
Yeah, you're very much right about that.
I'm just saying, they want that
very
comfort,
right
that night of comfort, and they want to be out. Because I speak to women like this. They don't want the commitment.
Some women have a type, and they don't realize they keep dating the same dude over and over again because they got a type. Guess what? That ain't your type. And sometimes, like they do in church, oh, God, Lou, is that the one you sent for me?
It's the type you want, but it's not the type you need.
That's right. God doesn't send them to you. You just didn't like the package you came in,
I believe, and this is probably going to be a little bit off contact, but I believe the devil will bring you exactly what you want.
Oh, yeah, without question.
Not what you need, because the devil knows just as much as God knows what you want. Mm-hmm. And once people start realizing that and understanding how real the spiritual warfare is, this is serious and it's real. The devil will bring you what you want and will destroy you on the way out.
You know what, if you all don't mind, as a young woman, I would like Anita to answer this question. In today's world, what is your biggest fear when it comes to relationships?
What is your biggest fear when it comes to
What is your biggest fear? Because she's a young woman in her early 30s, and, like many of you out there under our listening voice, in your early years, your formative years, and you got this whole pool of people out there, and it seems like there's 1 billion people in America, but yet at the same time, it's hard to find one. So what is your biggest fear when it comes to relationships? Or what have you noticed out there that makes you apprehensive to go forward?
My biggest fear, or whatever I notice, is that people are not who they say they are. I had this revelation that I'd rather you be consistent and you're crazy and not bipolar in your love. So that way, if you're consistent, I know exactly who you are.
Who I'm approaching.
In front of me and behind me. But if you're bipolar, you're pretending to be something else that you're not. So my biggest fear is to know that I'm who I say I am. And
authentic.
You're going to say who you are.
That's right.
Just to appease me. But then once we get to know each other, you're showing me somebody different. So my main thing is to be who you say you are. And one of my main things is to know exactly who I am. So when I'm bringing me to the table, you know exactly what you're getting.
I agree completely.
So I would expect you to show me that same respect. Don't take away my choice in the matter.
I agree.
Don't show me something that you know that I want, but you know that you're not that. And then once we get into a relationship, I see something different. Now you're taking away my choice in the matter. Well,
yeah, and also, to that, Calvin, the person that just walked in, what she said is so real and so relevant in the life of a woman. In the life of anybody, but for women in general. What you just said resonates with me because Calvin and I, again, he's one of the leading people in my life that have taught me to think how men think. What you said is accurate. Unfortunately, a lot of men will tell you what they want you to hear in order to get it, right? Here's the funny part about these fools. They don't understand that doesn't work on everybody. Right? Exactly. So Calvin said something to me and he said, just ask for another 5 minutes. Do it in 5-minute increments. And I'm a scale back on this. So if a man takes you out for dinner, if a man takes you back to his house, or wherever the case may be, ask for another.
They don't like to believe what we see. And that's how we get ourselves into
caught
these
up.
Problems. They get caught up. And then we asking why. believe what you see, and you don't have to worry about getting yourself caught up.
I agree completely. And self-awareness is another thing.
Exactly.
You got to know yourself.
Yes,
You got to know what you're going to accept and what you're not going to accept, and say, no, I don't need this. Unfortunately, a lot of women today, a lot of men, and I hate to keep saying women, and I apologize if I'm offending anybody, but we're programmed to not want to be alone.
Well, I want the $100 plan.
Yeah, my thing is, being alone doesn't mean you're lonely.
Absolutely.
If you took more time to get to know yourself, right, and try to understand who you are, you wouldn't be lonely. You have so many other things going on in your life trying to understand yourself that when a person does come to you and they come to you with some, excuse my language, some bullshit, you will be able to discern it because you learn yourself.
There you go.
Right. And being lonely, being alone and being lonely doesn't necessarily, like you said, it's not the same thing.
It's not the same
but
thing.
You must take that time that you are alone and invest in you. Because if you don't invest in you, then who will? So that goes back to about knowing your worth.
And knowing your worth.
That way you won't have to settle for something. And I'm not talking about somebody who have to have $2 over lunch money. I'm talking about a respect, a level of respect. You won't have to settle for a lower level of respect.
That's
because
right.
you have already invested in you.
Right.
So you know where you
know
are.
your worth.
And
Absolutely.
what you
And stop making excuses.
Right.
Stop making excuses for these fools that are coming in your face. Stop making excuses for them.
Exactly.
Well, maybe because he had a bad day at work, or maybe because of his mama or his father. If that's his problem, let that be his problem.
Yeah, if he got mommy issues,
You let that be his problem. You don't make that your problem.
Exactly.
And you also want to, I'm just going to put, you might want to check the frequency too, because honestly, whether people believe it or not, the universe conspires with you. So sometimes we got to resonate the frequency we're trying to attract. We want to magnetize, and sometimes we will get stuff, but it'll filter out once you set your frequency. Because people like that will not approach you. It'll
That's
come to a point
exactly
where they'll start.
what I was saying. When you know yourself,
Exactly.
when you have self-worth, when people look at you, when people look at me, they know. They know better.
Right.
Because I've worked so hard to get to know myself.
You resonated.
That the energy that comes off of me, people don't approach me the way they used to approach me 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 20 years ago. They know better.
So it's like that old saying, you attract who you are.
Absolutely. There you go.
There's a scientific fact that you actually set off the pheromone. You know what I mean? It's real. You know what I mean? It's actually a physical substance that you give off when you are centered in a certain part of yourself. So that is important to, like you said, to get to know yourself, your self-worth, and where you stand. And then once you know, there's no perfection, but, you set
Have you guys
yourself up.
noticed, and let's keep it real, have you noticed in your journey, the people who used to approach you compared to the people who approach you now?
Exactly.
Have you noticed the change?
Absolutely.
Have you noticed it?
Absolutely.
Have you noticed the people who have enough confidence to be able to approach you and say, hey, how you doing? Even if it's a man on man, a woman on woman, I'm not speaking sexually. I'm just saying in life in general. I'm one of those women in corporate America that is the one that wasn't supposed to make it, right? So I already have the hate, right? But with that, personally and professionally, even on both realms of my life, people know better. People don't expect me to date somebody who is not of substance because of what I portray my life to be. Right? I can't allow myself to
drop down
with somebody who is not on a certain level that I'm in.
Absolutely. Like we said on the ride in, I represent you, you represent me.
There you go.
Exactly.
We represent one another.
If we can't be the power couple, we can't be the couple.
And let me say this to
It's
you
just not
also.
gonna work. You're no good for me.
Power is not based on money. Power is based
Didn't
on
I say
security.
that? Power.
It is based on
Absolutely.
security. What people have to understand is this man should be to her as Moses was to God. God empowered Moses to do exactly what he does in the earth. My job is to give my wife the power, the understanding, and the resources to be the Lord of the house. You understand? He said, husband, love your wife as Christ loved the church. So when she goes in that house, let me tell you something. I walk in my house, I sit down, I kick off my shoes, I lay wherever I feel like laying, and know that this house is taken taken care of from top to bottom. But what she also understands is that when she says there's no bread in the house, her pocketbook doesn't open. Mine does.
Absolutely.
That's what he said.
You understand?
Absolutely.
She knows that when we're going on vacations, there's not a question on who's going to take care of that. You understand? Now, let me say, because there's a fair trade-off.
Absolutely.
My hours and my time and my hard work made that money outside of the house. Her time and energy is spent inside of the house, and she makes home a happy place. Now, because I'm physically, because of operating needs, physically challenged, but I used to love cleaning up the house because I believe it's both our responsibility to take care of the house if we both messed it up. Amen? But when you have the means to provide, you need to secure her. Not she have to beg you for bread, money. We don't have any milk. You see, there's no milk in the refrigerator, no food in the cupboard, and you still standing there talking about you going to get these Nikes. There's something wrong, and a lot of women settle for that, and they let baby boy who turned into diaper man turn around and use this stupidness against them. You understand? Oh well, listen, I'll go get these sneakers, man. Listen, man, this is all I got. It's $80. So what you're saying is you'd rather go take some $100, $150, go put on some sneakers to step in SHIT, and then walk in your house than to get some spick and span and clean your rug.
And people get what they deserve, too, now. I mean, I've seen a lot of people out here, they keep on, getting the same people, doing the same thing.
He just said that.
Like TP Square said, like, you know, you can't help people who are not on a level, they can't get something that they're not ready for.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So you can't blame the person who's going to get the shoes, because it's like, I have this famous saying, don't blame the vulture for picking on a carcass. If you're a carcass laying in the middle of the road, you can't.
But a lot of that's just learned behavior anyway.
Right.
It is learned behavior.
But
it is.
You know what I say, though? Everybody should have a mentor. I don't care who you are. Everyone needs a voice of wisdom, someone that they can call when they lack understanding of a situation.
Now that you said that, I want to roll the tape back. Now, remember we was working with that artist, Simon Says?
Yeah.
And we said to him, before we can move forward with your music career, what do you need? A life coach. If you don't have a life coach. We can't work with you.
Yeah.
What did I do? I brought him to you, right? And said, this is going to be your life coach. Because whenever you're going through something, that's who you need to talk to. That's your mentor. If you're going through something, that's who you got to talk to. So that way we can move forward.
I think that everybody needs that, though, don't you think? Especially in our communities. I think you need mentors and coaches. And I don't think there's enough of that. Absolutely.
Having a lawyer, attorney, like
right, exactly. I mean, in our communities, unfortunately, somebody said it's the crab in a bucket mentality.
Yeah.
You know, we got to steer away from that. And that's even with your boy who you trust around your girl who's trying to backslide and catch her when she's by herself. You got to get out of that mindset.
That's right,
you got to get out of that mentality.
You come home and what she do?
You know,
she telling you about stuff that you only told him. So how she know?
You know what? I'm glad that you said that when it comes to that, right? Watch this. See how you said how your boy is trying to slide up on your girl? All this goes back to security. And like I try to tell people, as a married man, I have a ring on my finger. Say I'm wearing my ring. I don't have it on now. So if a young lady would try to slide to me without her knowledge of me being married, then okay, I can understand that, and that's no disrespect intended. But if you see my ring on my finger,
didn't I say that?
And she steps to me, what she's saying to me is, you know what? I see a whore in you, and a man who has no integrity, and I'm going to prove to you that you're a lowlife and a whore, and I'm going to break down this fake character that you built up. This is why I try to tell young women, when you're wearing a wedding ring on your finger and a dude slides to you, you know what he's saying? This chick's a hooker, and I'm going to pull her.
He's right.
I don't care. Listen, ladies, don't be fooled. Watch this. No man is going to tell you that he think that you miss Easy Bake Oven. He ain't going to tell you that. He's just going to try to put his cake in it.
He'll show you.
You understand? He's just going to try to put a bun in the oven. So and watch this. Even after he knows that, you know what, he got you, you're in a relationship, and y'all getting down, you thinking he's telling you, I love you, and you so sweet, and you so sexy, and whatever. He's never going to tell you, yo, if you was my wife, I'd be beating you with a stick right now. You know what? He's never going to tell you that he think you a scuzz bucket. But you know when you're going to hear that? You're going to hear that the day y'all break up. Just like brothers, you're going to hear that when the day you and that young lady break up. Because she's going to say to you, oh, all of a sudden you're going to say to her, well, you know what? Lately I've been feeling guilty, and I'm going to go back to my wife. Oh, you wasn't feeling that way when we first began.
That's right.
Negro. I mean, and then she's going to go in on you. Then she's going to start to, oh, where you at tonight? Where you tell your wife you're at tonight? At the store? Where you went back to the store with your boy Jerry and the whole nine? And this girl's going to come out with all of your information and slap it in your wife's face. And guess what you did? You gave her the brick to hit your wife with.
That's
you don't do that.
Shame.
Absolutely.
That is
you don't
a damn
do that.
shame. You don't do that.
You don't do
at
that.
all. You never give the next person the ammunition to go against your partner.
To violate your
If
partner.
I'm with my man and another man approaches me, just like you said, I'm gonna introduce the two, because you will not, under any circumstance, under my watch, embarrass my man.
Exactly.
He will always have the upper hand, regardless of where we are, what we're doing. You're going to know who takes me home.
Exactly.
These men today are very rude and disrespectful.
Yes, they are.
Very rude and disrespectful. It's happened to me on dates where a man will come up to me and say, "Damn, you are fine," with the dude standing right there.
That's no respect.
So
for that
now,
dude.
when you get your jewelry range,
that's about what happened, right? You know, CP, you know how we get down.
Easily get down like that.
You know how we got down.
Many times before. I remember with my wife in the mall, dude's like, "How you get her?" I didn't want to have a fight in the mall, so I just turned around and opened up my coat and said, "Size matter." You know what I'm saying?
That's a good one, you know?
Yeah, let me just say this to you. And what people, security is just that, security. And as the young lady down was saying, you have to get to the point where you secure each other. And the reason why is this. Some people are killers by nature. Some people are killers by content. Some people will kill you just because you breathe. And then there are some people who feel that they're being disrespected. So the content of your character warranted that side of them. Like, and I'm one of those killers by contract.
That's right.
Don't step out of line.
That's me.
Now, that's what I used to be. Bless Jesus for putting that beast back in the cage.
Yes.
Okay?
Don't
but like I tell a brother, you'd rather walk through a lion's cage with pork chop drawers on than to come over here and disrespect me.
That's me.
I tell you quick, my man, listen, I had dudes tell me, nigga, I got 30 deep. We 30 deep. And you know what I tell them? The bigger the crowd, the bigger the funeral. All y'all niggas come on.
Yeah.
Okay? Because that's how I felt. And one thing you try to tell people, when you love someone and you respect someone, you go to war for them.
Absolutely.
And you tell people, you cannot disrespect a man's home. Tell them, dude, think about this. If I made $3,000 a month, I'm taking $3,000 for 30 years, investing in somebody, and you just going to walk up here and tell me I'm just going to take yours? You better
It don't work that way.
You better wake up in Bangkok, brother, because you speak Japanese and Chinese.
That way. Nah,
you better get them in another city or state, because you're going to get hurt.
I mean, women do it. You know, don't get me wrong. I'm not going to just put it on the men. Women are evil. They slick. They are slick. I mean, I was on a date once, and a woman, you know, I went to the bathroom, and she slipped the phone number in his hand. Walked past, bumped into the thing, slipped it in his hand. As soon as I came back to the table, he said, "Look, babe," right in front of her.
Oh yeah.
You know, and me being who I am, like you said, in the name of Jesus, God, thank you for putting that beast back in its cage.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
You know
what? Hey, look, you know I done told the story many times. We was at the NBA All-Star game, and me and my wife was out having dinner, and all these people, celebrities, athletes, they know me, and they knew that was my wife. I got up and went to the bathroom, same as you said, and I come back, there's a bottle of champagne at my table. You know, and I said, "Who you ordered the champagne?"
I would have sent that right back quick. Hurry up before my husband gets back.
She said, check it out. She said she didn't order it.
Thank you.
She didn't order it, right? So I asked, where it came from? It came from over there. So Rod Strickland, Red Alert, and somebody else was over there. So, you know, I took the bottle. I drank my water first. I took the bottle and I took the bottle to him. I filled my water cup up with the champagne, took a sip out the bottle until the way, and I take it back. You know what I mean? You know, y'all know what it is. You know, then they come, we didn't know that was your wife. We didn't know she was with you. No, you ninjas knew.
Yeah, they
know. What I'm
know.
saying? You ninjas knew, but guess what? Y'all know how I get down, and my army kind of wild. You know, how'd you represent to the day I die? You know what I mean? But people will try you. They will do it. You know what I mean? And I ain't afraid to call out no names. You know what I mean? I done punked them all.
Yeah, listen.
You know what I mean? It's real.
My
got a couple of them, too.
daughter's mother is a very beautiful young lady. And what happened was the cats in the neighborhood back then, they was making a lot of money. When I say money, money, money. And he going to throw $1,500 at my daughter's mother and tell her, hey, listen, me and you go out. So he just threw it up there to her and walked away. Man, we had the best night of our life. So he came back to her. He asked, what happened to my money? She said, I gave it to Larry. Go get it from him. So that's why I told her, when he come back to you for his money, tell him come get it for me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you got to be able to have that. You got to, it all boils down to the person that you chose, right?
That's for that man being the protector, being a man.
The man being a protector, and I believe in that. I truly do believe in that. Now, I believe that as I mentioned before earlier, that we all have roles to play, and I'm not, for me, Diana, I'm not going to be with a man that can't protect me, either it's verbally or physically, because quite frankly, I want, again, to be with the man that I look at and respect, to be the old school protector. I like that because I'm a woman that can protect myself, quite frankly. I really can. But if I'm going to be with somebody, I want to know that they got my back, I got their back.
And that's beyond a shadow of a doubt.
Exactly. And I want to be able to feel like the girl.
Yeah.
I want that.
Let me say this to you. I don't advocate, like I tell everyone, I don't advocate violence. I advocate respect.
There you go. I agree completely. And today, the lack of respect that we have for relationships, the lack of respect we have for friendships, right? And we have a lack of respect for even our side pieces.
Yeah.
It's a
shout out to all those side sons out there.
Yeah, somebody wrote there. We're not
scrap iron.
Yeah, some dude said we're not to what you said to your comment. He said, we're not bad boys. We just crush a lot. You sound like an idiot.
A fool's a fool.
Okay, wait. Let me work with you, bro. Watch this, right? You know how you go to the club, right? And you down the club. You say you're not a bad boy. You just crush a lot. Well, I got a saying that I live by. Same things make you laugh, make you cry. So you go to the club one night, right? And you're in the club, and you get down, you see this pretty little girl, this little fine young lady, and you get up with her, and y'all start dancing, y'all in that groove. You feel that she feeling you, and y'all grinding, girl, you dancing real close. And y'all in the zone. So next thing you know, you all over, and after a while, people start really, saying, yo, they getting down. So people start forming that little circle around you like they used to do.
That's right.
And they watching y'all dance, and you getting it, and everybody telling you how you was the man. Yo, you the man, you bagging that, you rocking that, you getting with that, you all on us, hands all up her thighs, and you going in, right? But here's the question. You come back to the club next week, and while you're in the club next week, you see that little crowd formed again around two people, and they getting down, and all you hear, oh, get it, bro, pop that, get it, bro, and you looking there and you see it's your mother.
Wow.
How you gonna feel now, bro?
Wow.
Same thing, make you laugh, make you cry.
Absolutely.
Respect other people's sisters, and somebody respect yours. Respect your mother, somebody respect yours. But when we violate other people, sooner or later, same thing that make you laugh, gonna make you cry.
That is the absolute
look, y'all.
Truth.
Our 3 hours is almost up. We got about 15 minutes to go. So
we have 15.
So Diana, I want you to address these ladies who just a little disgruntled with some of your views sometime. Let's talk about that and just wrap up everything that we talked about today that you brought to the table here on the TP Square Show.
Well, I just, to wrap this all up, again, let me just, for everything, woman, I support you wholeheartedly. I don't want what I say for the women
sensitivity comes with understanding.
Exactly.
Because if you're not sensitive, then when something is wrong, you won't notice it. So he has to be understanding and sensitive. Watch this. In order for a man to deal with a woman, he has to first decode her. Because women speak in codes. Because you act in emotion. Like if a woman says to you,
so true.
Where are you going now? You know what that means? I want to spend time with you. But if I have to ask you, I don't want to. So if she said to you, I want to spend time with you, she's going to be upset because she had to ask you. So now we as men have to know that when she goes, where are you going now? Simply means you've been out a couple of times and I've missed you. And I've given you your time away from me. I want some time now
correct.
With you.
Absolutely
and
correct.
This is what we have to understand. So give us time to learn you. Give us time to learn you, because you don't always, let the truth be told, you don't always speak.
I agree.
As you feel.
Because women have a sense of pride. Unfortunately, through life, we had to hold on to that pride that we have. Women today, you have to let a man be a man. If he wants to show you emotional, physical love, let him give it to you.
Amen.
Stop pushing him away. And that's the problem we have as women. We're so headstrong in our careers and raising our kids that we forget our purpose and our lane at home. Don't misconstrue the two. You are a woman to your man. You are his mate. You are not his boss. And
you know what? Lady Diana just said something that really struck back another nerve, because TP and I were talking, and another brother, we were talking when they came down to New York on why so many brothers migrating to white girls. You ever heard the saying, water seeks the path of the least resistant?
There you go.
Water seeks the path of the least resistant.
They don't want to work.
So now you have a lot of weak men. We're not saying strong brothers are going that way, but we're just simply saying water seeks the path of the least resistant. Water is a weak substance unless it's compounded.
Let's hold that right there. We got a call on the line. Hey, Mary.
We have a call on the line. Sorry. Hi.
Hey.
What's up, Mary? What's going on?
How y'all doing?
Okay. Who's this?
Mary.
Hi,
Hello,
Mary.
Lady Mary. How are you?
How are you?
Hi. All right.
How can we help you, Mary? Do you have a question?
Well, not really. I wanted to wish y'all luck on your show, because I'm not in a relationship right now.
That's okay. No, that's okay. So how do you feel about what we've been saying so far?
Everything that you're saying is true. It's true. You know, you have some weak men, you have some strong men, you have some weak women, you have some strong women. You know. And before in order for you to love anybody in a relationship, man and woman, or friendship, you have to love yourself first.
This is true.
Self-awareness. Yep, you're right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mary. We really appreciate you calling in. We really do. That the time it took for you to do that is well appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you, Mary.
You're welcome.
Have a blessed day, Mary.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
As I was saying, water seeks the path of the least resistance. So a lot of sisters think a lot of brothers are crossing that line. But no, there are a lot of brothers that are still here with you. We're in the struggle with you. We're in the battle with you. But what we need people to understand is this. If you keep being strong all the time and roar and all that, and, he got a beef with you every time you come home. The Bible, Jesus said, my peace I leave with you. Home should be the most peaceful place in the world.
I agree completely.
Home should be the most peaceful place in the world. He shouldn't have to curse at you. You shouldn't have to curse at him. You shouldn't be raising your voice at each other, because it's not necessary. We both speak English. I understand what you mean. When I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Man up, woman up. In order for you to be married in a relationship, you should understand one thing. Never get married until you said, I've come to the epitome of unselfishness.
I agree.
It is total unselfishness. If you ask anyone what is the most devastating factor in the world, they'll say the bomb, drugs, so on. No, it's selfishness. Because the selfish man created the bomb so he could kill another man. Selfish man went out there and raped the woman that didn't belong to him. Selfish man robbed a man. Selfish man took somebody else's wife. Selfishness is the number one evil in the world.
I agree.
So if you can go home with an unselfish mindset, imagine if every man came home saying, I'm going to do whatever it takes to please her. Like I tell people, I said, listen.
But that's vice versa.
Yeah.
It's vice versa. No, women got to have the same mindset as that.
I was going to say, I tell everyone before I married them, I said, listen, if you cannot say that if I'm die, I'm going to love you so good that you can live off the memories, then you married the wrong person. Because
Amen.
who you marry, it should be your lifetime investment in trying to see to it that they find joy in this life. Because that's why you sought them out. They made you happy, and that's what you want to hold on to.
Absolutely.
Your happiness and your peace.
You heard that, everybody, right? That's some deep stuff, and it's real. And we want to say thank you again for tuning in. I see everybody on here, and I love you guys, and I appreciate you guys. See you later. Say goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye, y'all.
Bye. TP, thanks for letting us take over your show, man.